Beginners. What's going on, family? What's going on? Your welding coach, Joe Brown, aka Black Phoenix, checking in with you live this evening. And I am in Little Rock, Arkansas at the G-Tech Goodwill Welding Academy. This is a 16-week program. We teach people how to stick weld, influx core weld, and MIG weld in 4 positions, but we test you into the introduction to TIG welding, how to use the cutting torch, the plasma torch, how to use the art gouger, how to read basic blueprints in Weld Sim 5, $100 deposit. So if you're thinking about changing your life this year, dive into the new career, you should check out the Goodwill Academy. The phone number here is 501-372-5100, extension 1211. Extension 1211 to talk to the specialist. That's 501-372-5100, extension 1211. So today I wanted to go over some basics of TIG welding, some basics. So we only teach the introduction to TIG welding in this program. So we don't do a lot of joints, we don't do stainless and a lot of different things, but we just teach them how to run beads, the introduction, how to hold it, how to actually guide it with one hand or with the other. Now, in my personal opinion, I think when you're starting and you're learning, I think you should take whatever your dominant hand is, you should take it a few times and just hover across the plate, learning how to fire it up and just hovering across the plate, just pushing it. Because you're welding then, you're pushing the bead then. And then I would say get it with your other hand. That way, because when you're TIG welding sometimes, especially if you're doing industrial welding where you're welding pipe, you're on different turnaround and shutdown jobs, you're going to do a lot of pipe. You might be in the corners, you might be tight, unless you're building products in some type of fabrication shop or something like that. You're going to have to use both of your hands. So getting used to using both of your hands, I think is great. One thing I would say, I would recommend that you would get, we start with steel, so I recommend that a person get them a little steel coupon. This is a 3/8 plate coupon, just for practice. It's about 4 inches long, so that's a good length to, run beads. So having you something like this of steel to run, that way you can actually put some heat into it and you can learn a few techniques. I think it's better to do it like that. As you learn it, you can cut down the heat to do like thinner stuff if you're doing a lot of thin gauge things. But I think the beginning stages is to literally run it from one hand and then turn around and run it from the other. Now, as an example, we're going to do that just to give you an idea of what you're looking at, because I think that it's very important that you will literally learn how to use your hand. Now, with this one, I'm using a foot pedal. On this, I got it set where I can have a maximum of 130 amps. So I got it set on a maximum 130 amps. And like I say, this is a 3/8 coupon, so it can suck up some heat. So the goal as a beginner, I would say, is you want to go with your dominant hand one way, and then you want to go the other way. So just for the sake of the exercise, we're going to start off. We're going to start off from left. From right to left. And all the goal is just to hover it over. You always want to let it, like I say, this is steel. You want to let it get it where the puddle is melted. Once you got the puddle, then you can take your time. And just like you was doing on your regular welding, you always want to tie it into the toe of the previous weld. So what I did, I ran across it once, and then we're going to turn around and go the opposite direction. I think that this is a good exercise because it helps you gain control of your hand. It helps you understand how close you need to have your tungsten. So I say you want to have your tungsten about an 1/8 inch off of the material. No more than an 1/8 inch. The tighter you have it, the better. You can really control it. If it's too far off, just like stick welding, that arc gonna get crazy on you. So the tighter you keep it, the more you can control it and keep that arc going the direction that you're trying to go. So before I answer any questions, let me see. The main difference is with TIG welding from stick welding, you're doing a couple more different processes. I got one hand and I got a foot pedal down here. And if you're using filler wire, you like this. In stick welding, you just got one thing that you focus on. Here, you got to focus on your angle here, your angle here. So it's a few different things that you have to do. So it is a little more complicated, but I really think that stick welding gives you the basics of doing it. So if you learn how to stick weld, I think you can transfer that knowledge over to TIG welding. I just think you just have to keep an open mind, because a lot of things as far as your angle and how tight you get it, those things that help you, because you got to have it tight when you're TIGging. So let's go from left to right this time. You always want to get your puddle up. Once you get your puddle going, now I got my elbow resting on my knee, and that helps me go across here with a tight arc and able to keep it straight. Always form a habit, even when you stick welding, MIG welding, flux core welding, when you're going off, always come back and hesitate. I think that's a good practice to keep down. I think it's very good practice to do. And it helps eliminate any pinholes, any porosity that may come in at the end of the weld. Yes, welding is a good career for a woman. Salute, salute. I done met a lot of great women who can weld, a lot of them. I mean, and there's a lot of different things you can do with it. It does take some physical strength, but not a lot. You don't have to be like a muscle woman or nothing like that, nah. Toe of the previous weld. When I say toe of the weld, that's the opposite sides of both sides of the weld. So if you was looking at the weld like this, so think of the weld as being a rainbow. So you got this side of the rainbow, whoop, and then you got this side of the rainbow. Each side of the rainbow is considered to be the toe of the weld. That's where you want to lay your next weld at. So when you lay that previous weld down, you want to lay your next one on the toe of the previous weld. And that's literally how you tie in and keep things tight. So this is a little hot, fam. I'll show you how it's not that bad. I'm going to show you what I do. It ain't that hot, though. Kind of drip it off there. Wasn't that bad, but I just wanted to run a bead. So now we're going to redo this. And we just ran a bead across. We just running beads on this plate. Practicing. That's all we doing. Running beads on plate. And I think doing this gain you the practice of how to keep it tight and how to make the bead formation look the way you want it to look. Appreciate it, fam. Appreciate it. We're going to clean them up a little bit. And like I said, all we doing, we're practicing and we laying some beads, fam. Take me a little coffee break. Oh, okay. Sometimes it can be the terminology, but it's literally called the toe of the weld. So this time, we went across there that time with just the tungsten itself. So I would say this. As a beginner, when you start using this, now we're going to put some filler metal in. The goal is when you're doing your filler metal, you're going to have an angle. You want to keep like a 10 to 15 here. You want to have it more like this here, if you can see. You want to have it more like this. And when you dap it, don't just dap it. You want to push it. You see how I'm kind of doing that? You're kind of pushing it up in there. Now, you want to keep this so that way that the gas is flowing correctly when you're going across it. Now, keep this in mind. You don't want your filler rod to touch your tungsten. Now, this is going to, off the top, contaminate the welding, what you're trying to do. So if that happens, you want to stop, literally cut the end off of this and go over there and use the grinder and fine tune the end again to get you a nice little point. So for the rule of thumb, it says that the stick out should be about the size of the diameter of the cup. That's a good way, a rule of thumb. You can use it quarter inch, depends on what you're doing. I like to keep at least a quarter inch stick out. No less than that is, you know, a rule that I go by, no less than a quarter. And this, it works for me. Now, for beginners, like I say, as a beginner, I think you really just need to just practice on using both of your hands and your foot, because you're using your foot pedal too, so keep that in mind. You're doing a few different things, so you're just gonna have to practice on it. Okay, fam, so we finna dive into it. So now we finna dab a little bit. Let's get into it. So remember, make sure you hot. Make sure you got all the contaminations out of it. I'm burning all the contaminations off before I even go. Now it's ready. So the plate just started. As I was going, the plate was kind of warming up on me. So we're gonna run another. It did pretty good. It got flat here, and then I ran on top of this well, trying to keep this straight. I had a couple more little pieces on here. I'm trying to run on top of it. This video right here is just going to be just for basics. Walking the cup, I don't think nobody starts off walking the cup. The goal is, as a beginner, I think you should learn how to freehand. So as you see me, I'm literally using freehand. Walking the cup, it can be an easy thing, but I literally think it's some skills in freehanding. Literally learn how to balance, or using your elbow to put on top of your knee if you need to guide it. That's a trick. I love to do that. I go my knee here, there go my elbow, and I just guide it, and that helps me out a lot. So these tips are for beginners, especially those that literally want to learn the process. Before you start walking the cup and doing all exotic things, you got to do some basic things. And so the basic things is just to run some beads with both of your hands and literally get the process and the angle down. And that's the main thing, because a lot of times we get these angles down. You want to practice on that. Turned out good, fam. The main thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you have enough heat. This is real thick, so I'm actually able to apply a little bit more heat on it as I go. I take it off. So I would say when you set in your heat settings, I would give it a maximum, and then I have a minimum. That way you're not putting too much heat where you can burn through the piece of material you're practicing on. Hey, that's good. You can just use regular size. Even though you got 3/8 plate, I believe this is 1/8 inch or 3/32. I think there's some 3/32 rod TIG wire here. This 3/32 is good. I think you'll be fine with this. You always want to form a habit of allowing that weld, allowing that gas to post flow on top of that weld, just to make sure you don't get no pinholes and anything like that. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, family. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. Thanks for checking in. Like I say, you just want to go over this several times, families. You want to take your time just to learn the basics. Because we already know, if you already went through the stick welding process and the MIG and the flux, this here is going to be new to you. But everything you done learned previous up to this point, you're literally going to use here. You're just going to add a couple more things to it. Honestly, family, I've been trying to reach out to some veterans. I actually got a veteran in my class right now who I helped get into the class, that's from Georgia. And I've been helping him, family. He's doing great. My goal is to network with the VA in the area. I actually had a gentleman that reached out to me, but I've been waiting on him. You know, when it comes to the VA, there's a lot of paperwork and, you know, and a couple things got to get going. But once I'm given the opportunity, my goal is to give it to the veterans, because a lot of them need this to keep things going. I mean, this is something they can really master, and they can really take care of themselves, and they can travel. You know what I mean? So I really think that this is something that the veterans or people coming out of prison, out of jail like this, and out of high school, fresh out of high school, family, I think welding is the thing that everybody ain't meant for college. Everybody want to dive into starting a family, doing whatever they're doing. So college isn't for everyone. But most definitely, I think if they can find a trade, though, it can change the game. It can change your life. It changed my life. So I love to say saved by welding. That's a hashtag of mine, saved by welding, because I was literally saved by it. So my goal is to see if I can help save somebody else. So I just try to give some free information, hoping to encourage someone or motivate someone to learn a trade and to get more about it. And like I say, it is for women. So salute to all the women welders out there. Salute. I got a couple bad ones in my class. They're gonna be hard. So I'm gonna be sending a couple bad ones into the industry. But family, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. Like I say, if you got the passion to do this, don't get intimidated because there's a lot of things that literally you can win on just welding. I know many welders in construction and in shops that are great women welders. So don't get discouraged. And if you are young, don't get discouraged. There's a lot of places that will give you an opportunity. So I'm going to fall in and give me one more. Okay, salute, man. Hey, I'm glad it helped you, fam. Woo! Turned out pretty good, fam. Salute, man. I appreciate the love. Thanks for checking in. I wouldn't say going to college, but I would say the first step, if you want to get into it, is start wrapping your mind around what type of welding you might want to get into, or just learn about all processes. Find a couple videos on YouTube, and learn about the different welding processes and see which one works for you. I think that's a great thing to do, and then start Googling and searching things in your area. Don't know where you at, but I guarantee you there might be something nice, a great opportunity might be close by. So, you know, sometimes I have learned that there can be great opportunities in places you just haven't heard anything about it yet. So I will start Googling and doing my own personal research to dive into welding. Honestly, fam, it's ironic that you say that. I call it the 5 finger trades that'll form a fist, and that fist gonna knock somebody out, fam. You got welding, electrician, carpentry, plumbing, HVAC. Any one of those, fam, you in the game. Any one of those. Now, you know I'm gonna pick welding because I'm a welder, but any one of those, fam, you'll be okay and your family will be okay. So pick one of those, fam, and I think you'll be okay. Fam, we're gonna run one more and we're gonna let y'all go, fam. Woo! That turned out great. Let me go get some. Let's clean it up first so y'all can really see it. Yeah, a little hot. Okay. So that's what we was working on, fam. We're just running beads on here. And like I said, this was a previous plate, so I just been running beads on it, trying to fine tune it. So, and literally, family, I think this is the way to start the process, is to just run beads and take your time, getting your angle down, your travel speed down, and just practicing, fam. So, hey, I think this process can really help some people out. Depends on those who want to thinking about diving in pipe later or making some parts and things like that. There's a lot of things to do when it comes to stainless and aluminum. So I have done a lot of stainless and aluminum. Not a lot of TIGging on carbon. This is carbon for practice, but most of it has been stainless and aluminum. But I had put in some root passes with carbon though. Salute. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. Hey, man, y'all have to be blessed, man. Have an amazing day. Like I said, I just wanted to come live and just give y'all a couple tips, man. So I hope this could help someone. If it does, make sure you share it with someone, man, and let them know where we at. If you need to come down and get some private classes or you want to come to the school, make sure you remember the number is 501-372-5100, extension 1211. For those who want to sign up at the Goodwill Academy program, is 16 weeks. Now, for those who are looking for some private classes, one-on-one, I will have some things jumping off soon from 6 to 10. So if you're looking for private classes from 6 to 10, that phone number will be 501-400-5806. That's 501-400-5806 for those who want private after-hour classes from 6 to 10. Y'all be blessed, continues to prosper. I'm out. Hold on.